Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Steve Kersten, of course, the head coach at Williamston. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing well. This is a fun time of the year right here where we are close. A lot of weight room time has been done and 7-on-7s and camps, and now it gets real in a week from now.
Yeah, for sure. So let's start with let's start with this week. I know a lot of coaches approach this week very differently. Some keep the weight room open, some just close it off, some have some team activities going on. What are you guys up to this week?
Yeah, for Williamston, we it's kind of our testing week. So we're testing. We're in the weight room and on the track and in the gym testing different speed standards and also lifting standards. So kind of a fun week for kids just to kind of see what they did throughout the year and the summer to see how much they've improved. So it's kind of a fun week for us. And we also do our youth camp this week. So tomorrow night, Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll have youth camp going on. A lot of varsity players and JV players help us out with that.
All right, so let's kind of talk preview the upcoming year. What's the outlook for the Hornets this year?
We feel pretty good. I mean, we have a lot of returning players. Last year, many of our starters were juniors, so we feel like we have experience now. It wasn't our best season for wins and losses last year, but a lot of growth took place last year in athletes' lives and both as players and figuring out their own leadership styles, etc. So we feel really good. We had a great summer, and we have experienced kids. Hopefully, we can use that experience to our advantage in all that might happen in a season. I mean, it's going to be a journey, as it always is.
Absolutely. All right, Steve, now it's time to talk about those players, the returners and the guys that are going to be around. So why don't you talk about some of the players that are going to make up this team for 2025?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you always kind of start with the kids that have played the most and have been the leaders in the past. On defense, Miles Keener, he played on varsity for all four. This will be his fourth year, so he started as a freshman. Um, and he's had some accolades as all state linebacker, et cetera. And he's just a tough kid, big, strong, speedy, tough kid, both sides of the ball, but linebacker for sure. And then Caleb Nielsen as our quarterback. It's always great to have a senior quarterback that played as a junior. So second year, I mean, I think we all say that as high school coaches. If you have a second year quarterback, you're always a little bit ahead of the game, which was true in 7-on-7s. I mean, Caleb has hit tight windows all throughout the summer and has a confidence. The game slowed down for him. So we feel pretty good about, his quarterback skills and really just kind of seeing the game in a different light.
Yeah. So offensively and defensively, where are you guys at with
Yeah.
just other names to
I
watch
mean,
out?
I can name a ton of names because we have a ton of returners on defense.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, we have on the D line coming back, Jameson Nicolopoulos and Tom Donnelly. They're not huge D linemen, but they're fast and they're going to come off the edge and get after quarterbacks. And then we have some big guys too, Hank Palazzolo in the middle. I mean, we have a plethora of 300-pounders that can move pretty well, which we haven't always had in the past. So we feel real good. Hank's one of those big guys, and Anthony Heinrichs as well. Linebackers returning. We have two of them, Miles Keener, which we already talked about, and then also Hunter Rowland. And, even Parker Freeze is going to kind of mix into that linebacker those spots as well. But he played more of a DB last year, so he'll probably play in about 3 or 4 different spots. Our free safeties back and Stephen Bush, and we have our 2 corners back as well. Drew Kersten, my son, and then Eston Thorburn. So it's going to be a senior laden starting crew on defense. And then offensively, same thing. Now, offensive line is going to be interesting this year because we have a lot of guys competing for 5 spots. So we feel really good about what's going to come out of that. We have great juniors that are coming up. Sophomores last year will be juniors, and some seniors that played last year. Anthony Heinrichs and Hank Palazzolo both played on the offensive line. But we got a bunch of guys in Jude, Chad Fritz, Carter Dalrymple, I'm forgetting uh, Chambers, Gage Chambers, a bunch of guys battling for spots. So it'll be very interesting to see who are the starters in that first game against LCC on the offensive line. I know um, they're going to be hungry guys because they're going to be hungry just to earn a starting spot.
Yeah.
And we got a ton of skilled guys. I mean, our Joe Smith at running back was tremendous last year, and I think he's getting better and better. Waiting this morning at 205. I mean, it's a kid that can run, but this isn't like a 180-pound kid. This is a 205-pound kid that can run, and he wants the ball. I mean, it's really good sign when your running back wants, hey, give me 20 carries. I mean, you love to hear that. And then we have, Miles Keener's a skilled guy. All the same guys I mentioned on defense are in that realm. But then can't forget about Tommy Pratt, our 6'5" receiver that can run. I mean, he was on the 4x1 team last year that went to state and had the school record. Hunter Van Sickler is a huge baseball player, but an amazing receiver as well. So, and then we have other receivers too, just in the mix that are going to fill in. So we feel like we're very talented. Do we have to put it all together? Yes. Do we have to block and tackle? I mean, just because you have skilled kids and do well in 7-on-7s does not translate always to the season. But we do know that when you do well in 7-on-7s, it does provide momentum for what can happen throughout the year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, now we just talked about the kids. We got to talk about the schedule. Of course, starting off at home against Lansing Catholic, week one, and of course, the Jeremy Norris era beginning over there. Week two, September 5th at Hastings, September 12th at Mason, September 19th home against Fowlerville, September 26th at St. John's, October 3rd at Hazlitt, October 10th home against Lansing Eastern, October 17th at Dowanack, and October 24th, finishing out the regular season home against Redford Thurston. So, pretty good schedule. Conference is always interesting with the CAAC. Of course, you guys, Mason and Hazlitt, have been the big players in the last few years. I know St. John's is knocking on the door, Fowlerville, Lansing Eastern as well. So, should be a good year and some good non-conference opponents to start the season as well.
Yeah, I think Lansing Catholic's always been a tough game, and it'll be again this year. It'll be a rivalry game, and we know some of their players, they know some of our players. So that's always adds a little bit to the mix of the game. So we're looking forward to that one. Hastings week 2, wing T. Definitely have to prepare well for. I mean, they run the old school wing T, stay in that T. They branched out a little bit with a receiver last year. I don't know if they have that same kid back. So probably a lot of trap and off tackle and plays, and they're just a solid program. They're really coming up in in their program as well. So we're looking forward to those games. Obviously, first league game is Mason. They've won the league the last I don't know how many years now, but I know they graduated some guys in their quarterback and et cetera, but they're always going to be tough, and they're a blue collar town, and they believe that in their football program as well. So it'll be a tough game. So that's kind of the first three that we're thinking about right now. I mean, later on, then you look into the whole red. I mean, our CAAC red has been very competitive for many years, and it's tough football. I mean, St. John's got really good last year, and just added to the mix of the league. So it'll be interesting, especially this year. I think it's kind of wide open, the league race, and I think there's great coaches. I mean, we're actually good friends with those coaches in the red. I mean, they're good dudes, and I want the best for all those guys, except for one night of the year, when we play them. But it's great to be in a league where where we have great coaching, and the coaches, we respect them, and it's a good competition, and we do things right, they do things right, and we're all about investing in the lives of young men, hoping that 10 years from now those kids are really good in society, and good in their marriages and their parenting, etc.
Absolutely. So what are the next few weeks going to look like for you guys after, with this week, and then of course practice rolls in on the 11th. It's go time. How do you approach the next few weeks, and then just week one, you're with just so many unknowns about a season in that week one opponent?
Yeah, I think we've done it for a while. I have an amazing coach. We have an amazing coaching staff here. Just guys that we've coached with before. I think most of them have been head coaches. Jabe Gleadis was the head coach at Pinckney. Kyle Robinson was the head coach at Corona. Joel Emmons was head coach at Weberville, and then we had Nate Massa in the mix, who played on our 2010 team that went to Ford Field, and he went to Hope College. Just a great guy and great coach. So we kind of know what we have to do. What's interesting this year is that I feel like we're a little bit ahead of things with our June and July camps because we have so many veterans. So we haven't had to teach all the basics. They've known a lot of things. So now we can get a little more detailed, which I think anytime that happens in a practice, you can really prepare for things you're going to see throughout the season. It helps you when you get to the game week and you've already talked about those things. So when they've already seen the wing tee and they've already seen, we know how to check coverages and we know how to, our offensive linemen know what they're doing. I think those are all advantages. I think we can be a little more advanced in our practices in those first 2 weeks. Obviously, we've got to figure out what LCC is going to run. We were at their 7-on-7, so we saw a little taste of them, but a lot of things change from 7-on-7. So we'll have to kind of wait to see exactly what they do offensively and defensively in their scrimmage, and that will give us a better plan for that game week.
Absolutely. So, and then finally to end it, this is your 25th year as the Williamston head coach. Obviously, I know you've been doing this for a long time. I know you've had a lot of success over the years. Does it feel, has it gone by fast, 25 years?
For sure, it's come by fast. I mean, I can't even think back and say, "Wow, I've done this for 25 years." Lots of great coaches, lots of great kids, lots of great parents and boosters and community members. Yeah, it's been a great ride. But I think every year you got to start over again. You have to say, "Hey, what do we have to do to help maximize this group?" And there's been a lot of momentum. I said it earlier. There's been tons of momentum this summer in relationships, in the weight room, in workouts, speed training, 7-on-7s, camps. Just a lot of positives, and we hope that all those positive momentum points build into an amazing season. But we also know that it's a journey, and you have to go 1 week at a time. And then you have to, fight through whatever comes your way, and that's part of the fun too, with the strategy and just getting kids ready to play on Friday nights and getting kids ready to maximize their talents together to get the best output on Friday nights.
All right. Well, Steve, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck to you guys this season.
Casey, thanks for what you do. Really appreciate just the way you promote high school football, and it's always fun to talk with you.
Thank you.